bit of ice and overflow on the trail. One nice thing about Jeff not running neckline, see how they can all spread out and get the best footing for themselves. They don't all, the front ones don't drag the back ones in.
I know. Not going fast enough for her. She wants to move faster. They'll pick up with that bark, is that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to, that's the way they express themselves, you know, boisterous. And she's telling us to pick it up. I left all of what I had for reserves in those hills. I wasn't going to get to the finish line and say, if I had only ran up one more. I left it all on the table. And there was no doubt in my mind when I got there that I did the best I could.
A lot of running behind the sled.
Leg cramps. My stomach hurts. I'm achy, I'm dehydrated, all right.
Just 7 miles back, King's team of 16 is running strong and steady, and they're gaining ground on Mackey.
I have made up more than 50 minutes in other checkpoint distances. I may catch him before White Mountain as it is, and if I don't, I'll be curious to see how close it is, because the run from White Mountain to Nome is 77 miles. Sure looks like it's going to be a good, exciting finish for the race and for the press and my family's and his family, and well, only the guy who wins by a lot wants to win by a lot. Everybody else hopes it's a close race, so I'm taking a little consolation in, well, they're going to get what they wanted this year.
I put the throttle down a little bit, and boy, we came into White Mountain fast, strong, just flying, you know. Hey! Easy, 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 easy. Hang on. Easy, easy, easy. I haven't seen a light or any sign of Jeff, which is a very good sign. Just trying to stay in front of him and hopefully gain a little time on him, but at this point, can't tell. I was so beside myself that I got my team back to their performance level. They looked sharp, they were fat. Hey, hey, hey. That's it.
At 8:53 a.m., Mackey arrives at the checkpoint. He's physically spent, but he's happy. Mackey covered the 46 miles from Elim to White Mountain in 6 hours, 33 minutes, averaging a speed of 7 miles an hour.
Yeah, that was nice. We came into that checkpoint as good or better than any team I have ever seen go into that checkpoint. Just on a dead run, flying. I don't know how long after me he got out of Elim. It was supposed to be a quiet little sneak off, but 15 cameras and snow machines chasing me around. There wasn't nothing sneaky about it. So he's probably right on my butt.
Mackey's final mandatory 8-hour rest has begun. Now, King is racing the clock.
And they're moving nice. It'd be something if he won with all 16 dogs in the team. No one's ever done that.
This isn't just the 100-yard dash, man. This is knowing what you do in between the stops where the dogs are moving.
It looks like you got an hour.
It's taking his sweet-ass time getting here. I was moving twice that fast. We have a long ways to go yet, so I'm not even going to get too confident here. And 3 days ago, if you would have told me I'd be sitting here in this position with a team that was eating, I would have called.
At 9:50 a.m., King arrives at the White Mountain checkpoint. He's down, but definitely not out.
Yes! About damn time.
With 8 hours of rest ahead of them, both racers are locking down their strategies for the final leg of the trail.
Yeah, we got a heck of a race going on. It's never over on this section. It's the closest one we've had in a long time.
57 minutes separates the leaders. With 77 miles left to Nome, anything can happen.
There's been numerous races that have been lost in the last 77 miles. I've passed numerous teams in that last 70 miles, and there's no doubt that he has the potential to do that to me.
Despite his lead, Mackey understands what it means to be in the company of a legend like Jeff King.
The way I see it, the only way to become a better musher is to race the best mushers. And Jeff is definitely one of the best mushers. You know, and just hanging out. I don't have to say anything. All I got to do is watch. I learn something every time I see him, you know. He's very efficient, very mistake-free. Except he made one mistake. He let me in front.
After a week of sleep deprivation and grueling physical exertion, the last leg of the iditarod is a desperate, all-out dash for glory. The elite mushing teams try to shave minutes of time in a battle against each other, while most of the pack wages war with themselves in a struggle just to finish the race. Lance Mackey was the first racer to reach the checkpoint at White Mountain.
Yes!
As it stands, he holds a 57-minute lead on his rival, Jeff King. The race for first comes down to a 77-mile sprint from White Mountain with a quick stop in safety, and then onto the finish line and victory in Nome. The White Mountain checkpoint is a mandatory 8-hour stop for both Mackey and King. They'll have time to refuel their teams and themselves, and then rest up before heading out on the last leg of the toughest race on Earth. Word of Mackey sneaking out of the checkpoint in Elam is traveling fast.
That's very typical Mackey. Kind of a sly, you know, a theatrical as well performance.
It's just wonderful to see somebody pull out a really old trick that, you know, was used for generations and you know, time and again, the sneak off while the other guy is sleeping trick.
Lance duped Jeff, left him sleeping on the floor there in Elam while he took off. I suspect that right there might have been the race.
It was a bold move, but will it be enough to hold off four-time champ Jeff King? 96 miles back from White Mountain, Bruce Linton is on the trail from Shaktoolik to Koyuk with his team of 11 dogs.
These dogs are excited, man. These sled dogs, all they want to do is pull.
I was hoping for a faster trail, but I'm going to try to finish in the top half.
What are you doing?
All right, how about you? I got you in at 15:55 with 11 dogs.
Okay.
Just a cute one.
In Koyuk, I said, you know, these dogs are looking pretty good, and finally got over my sickness. I said, oh, my goal there is to try to finish 4 days faster than last year. I don't want to finish, obviously, with a healthy team.
I might be limping a little bit.
For over 800 miles, Bruce has struggled with his own health. Now, his dog Shakespeare has a limp.
Can't make it, Shakespeare. Sorry.
Shakespeare is one of Bruce's veteran dogs, but he's got a broken toe and must be dropped.
He made it to Nome with me last year, so it's really upsetting.
He's pretty swollen and very painful. He's limping, so it's better for him to stay behind.
There's nothing I can do, even though he's so close. So, all right, buddy, you gotta go. Okay.
We'll take good care of him.
Thank you. He doesn't want to leave his pack. See you, bud. Doesn't want to leave the group. He's a great dog.
At 4:10 p.m., Martin Boozer made it to the White Mountain checkpoint.